So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
Minutes after Joe Biden was sworn in as US president last week, Israel's prime minister released a congratulatory video referencing a warm personal friendship and also his government's immediate priority for the new administration.
And to confront common challenges, chief among them the threat posed by Iran.
On Tuesday, Israel's top general turned up the volume, saying he was preparing new attack plans targeting Iran.
I have instructed the IDF to prepare several operational plans in addition to existing ones, which we will develop throughout the coming year. The power to initiate them lies with the political echelon. However, the offensive options need to be prepared, ready, and on the table.
The general warned the new US administration that returning to the Iran nuclear deal, from which Donald Trump withdrew in 2018, would be a mistake that would allow Iran to develop a nuclear weapon.
Even if there's a similar agreement with a few improvements, it is operationally and strategically wrong. It's operationally wrong because it will again allow at its end or even beforehand Iran to enrich uranium, to develop centrifuges, to develop even the capabilities of the weapons until developing a bomb.
The message was delivered on the same day that Joe Biden's pick for Secretary of State was confirmed by the U.S. Senate. Last week, Antony Blinken signaled that the U.S. was not preparing to rush back into the deal and would consult with Israel and other regional allies on its policy. For its part, Iran says time is short for the U.S. to revive the deal known as the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, or JCPOA.
Any progress in this regard is totally dependent on the practical steps the U.S. should take to meet its obligations under the Resolution 2231. Actually, America's time is limited and the window of opportunity for the U.S. and the European members of the JCPOA remains open for a limited period.
Iran is still reeling from a series of blows inflicted during the last year of the Trump administration, including the U.S. assassination of its most revered military figure, Qasem Soleimani, and the killing of its chief nuclear scientist, Mohsen Fakhrizadeh, which Tehran attributes to Israel. For Israel, the shift away from Trump's hard line on Iran is a major foreign policy challenge, provoking a debate about whether the government should confront the Biden administration publicly or lobby behind the scenes. In this instance, the public confrontation has come from the head of its army. Harry Fawcett, Al Jazeera, West Jerusalem.
All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, before I get started, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to where it's due to Yahweh, Bahashim Yasah, Bahashim Chakadas. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who were willing to tell the truth. And salutations to the hopeful lexic God brought that at the full corner of the earth. Today, this brother Awab coming at you today with another lesson to the spirit prophet Yabashim Shabashim Kakadas entitled "The Least of the Flock Shall Draw Them Out." And as you've seen in the video that was played at the beginning, you see Israel, so-called Israel, which they call themselves Israelis. It's right here. It says Israeli Defense Minister. Said that they was going to that they're making plans for Iran because as you've seen, the Israelis, them gutter rats over in our land today, which they're not the true Jews, the true Israelites of the Bible, man. They don't want America to go back into the nuclear treaty, man. And America wants to go back. So they at disagreements right now. And just to show that the Amalek, which is in our land today, the Edomites, they are not the real Jews of the Bible, man. They call themselves Jews, but they don't even call themselves Israel. They call themselves Israelis. They call themselves Jewish, which is just like pertaining to something, man. Like if you're girlish, you're acting girlish. They're Jewish. They're acting like a Jew, man. This is Revelation 2, verse 9. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. So they not true Jews, man. They say they Jews, but they not Jews. It's like, and you also got Revelation 3 verse 9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee. So they not the real Jews, man. They fake Jews. They gutter rats. Those Israeli peoples, Amalek, man, those Edomites, man, over in our land today are not the real Jews. I just thought I'll get that out there. And plus, as you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the real Jews of the Bible, man. Judah, Benjamin, Levi, and so on and so forth, man. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Ezekiel 5 verse 5. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh power. This is Jerusalem. I have set it in the midst of the nations and countries that are round about her. So Israel, Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. Israel is not because you so-called Negro, Latinos, Native Americans, man. The Israelites are in all of the world. In America, Mexico, Germany, China, Japan, Europe, Russia. We everywhere, man. Italy. We are everywhere, man. Australia. We're everywhere, man. You can't put the land of Israel, the land of Jerusalem, in each of those spots. There's only one Jerusalem. There's only one Israel. But it says, I have set it in the midst of the nations and countries that are round about her. That's talking about the people, man. That's not talking about the land. That's talking about the people. So Israel is a people before it's a place. So when you see Jerusalem, Israel, Zion, and the scriptures, man, it's talking about the people, man. It's talking about you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, the elect. Starting first and foremost, really starting with the elect, because we a people before it's a place. So just because you see Israel or Jerusalem in the Bible, it's not talking about that land, those gutter rats in the land today, man. They are not the real Jews of the Bible. So I got that cleared out the way. So it says, quote unquote, Israel developing plans to strike Iran over nuclear weapons as Joe Biden deal falters. And that word falters, it says to hesitate, stammer, get cold feet, change one's mind, be undecided, be indecisive. Right here it says pussyfoot around. So it's undecided, man. The Iran and everybody don't know if they want to agree to Joe Biden's deal. They don't know if they want to agree to his deal, man. So the Israeli people, the Jewish people, them gutter rats, they are developing plans to strike Iran, man. So it says, and this was March 5th, 2021, a couple days ago. And that video, I don't know if I said it, but that video that you seen in the beginning was from about a month ago. And that's when I believe Joe Biden was starting to say that he was going to go back into the deal, man, or try to. But it says Israeli Defense Minister Benny Gantz has warned that his country will stand independently against Iran if needed, as President Joe Biden pushes ahead with his plan to revive the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, JCPOA, despite opposition from American conservatives and Middle Eastern allies. So the Israelis, man, they saying whether America wants to or not, we're going to stand independently. Whether America wants to or not, we're going to strike Iran if they make nuclear weapons, man. We're going to strike so they can't make nuclear weapons, man. Just like America killed the top general, and also rumor has it that America killed the Iran's top nuclear scientist, man. Iran ain't forgot that, man. So Iran's gonna do everything in their power to continue doing what they do and make nuclear weapons, man. And then this is when those gutter rats said, well, if you make nuclear weapons, we're going to strike. So, and then you got opposition from American conservatives and Middle Eastern allies. So you got people who are against Joe Biden going back, trying to revive the JCPOA, man. You got people who don't want to. You got Edomites who don't want America to join it, man, to revive it. And that's just, Satan divided against Satan, man. They're going to both fall. They both going to be destroyed, man. It says Gantz, who is currently defense minister as part of a power sharing deal with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, told Fox News Radio on Thursday that Israel is constantly drawing up plans to attack Iran and deny Tehran nuclear weapons with or without American support. So, like I said, they're going to do anything. Those Israelis is going to do everything in their power to deny Tehran nuclear weapons, to deny Iran making nuclear weapons, man. Because if they continue to do that, they know it's going to be a battle. So Iran, or it's like Israel, those Israelis want to go ahead and get Iran out the way, man. Get those nuclear weapons out the way. It says Gantz warning, and it says with or without American support, which in the scriptures I'm going to bring out, we know that in the end America is going to support, man. It says Gantz warning comes after weeks of rising tensions in the Middle East with attacks on American and Iraqi troops by Iranian-backed Iraqi militia groups, American and Israeli airstrikes in Syria, an attack against Israeli shipping in the Gulf of Oman, and intensified operations against Saudi Arabia by Iran-backed Houthis in Yemen. So tensions are starting to rise, man. You can see these prophecies unfolding. The Lord is starting, which he has been, but he is continually rising tensions, man, for this World War III, which is the end-all be-all, man. He's consistently, with day in and day out, with each passing day, man, we getting closer and closer to these end prophecies just coming to pass, man. And they gonna come out of nowhere, man. Something's gonna happen one day, and it's gonna just burst that bubble, man. It says the Biden administration appears to be trying to keep low intensity regional conflict separate from JCPOA talks, but Gantz told Fox News Radio that Israel was not. We should not put aside all the regional aggression. Gantz said, noting incidents in Iraq, Syria, Yemen, and Iranian influence over Islamist militia forces in the besieged Gaza Strip and Lebanon. We are on very high alert all the time, Gantz said. The issue with Iran must be solved. Asked whether the country has strikes plans ready for use, the defense minister said his forces were constantly revising the situation. It said, we're working on it. Gantz said, we have them in our hands, of course, but we will continue and constantly be improving them to the highest professional level possible. If you want to read the rest of it, you can. It's on, newsweek.com. You can look up Israel developing plans to strike Iran over nuclear weapons as Joe Biden deals falters. So that's what it is, man. Let me get these two scriptures right here. This is Jeremiah 49, verse 20. Therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord Yahweh that he hath taken against Edom, and his purposes that he hath purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. Then who's that least of the flock? The least of the flock is those Israelis, man. Those gutter rats, man. They gonna attack. They gonna attack. Just like it said, they developing plans to strike Iran, and once they do, man, and once those Israelis strike, man, America's gonna come to support. It says with or without American support, or they'll say independently, but America is utterly gonna support, man. They're gonna support Israeli, man, and drag the U.S. Babylon into war, man. And Iran has people backing them too. They got Russia, man, and other nations, man, backing Iran. So it's gonna be full blown out war once they start, man. Just a precept going back, just backing that verse up, which is, it basically says the same thing, but it says Jeremiah 50 verse 45. Therefore hear ye the counsel of the Lord Yahweh that he hath taken against Babylon. Babylon is America. America is Babylon. And his purposes that he had purposed against the land of the Chaldeans, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. And that's his precept backing that up, man. Babylon is America, man. America is going to come to Israel, to the Israelis' aid, man. Those gutter rats' aid, man. And once that happens, it's over, man. It's over. You might as well just sit back. Well, you know, the elect is going to sit back, eat that popcorn, and watch those nuclear weapons come over here. And then, you know, we going to, and Lord willing, I'll get redeemed, as well as the elect will be redeemed, man. The 144,000, as well as the 1/3 over here in America, as well as the innumerable multitude around the globe, man. So, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying to spirit, to body, to fold. Before I end it off, like to give all praise and honor and glory to his due. To Yahweh, Bahashem Yasah, Bahashem Chakadas, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who taught us truth. And shalom to those full exile brought throughout the full corner of the earth. And Barak to Yahweh Hashem Shai for putting the spirit on me to do this lesson. Until next time, shalom, call me Yashala, and above, shalom.